With being a homeowner, unexpected maintenance comes hand in hand. In this example, the torsion spring and cables of an old garage door failed and is no longer operable. Installing a new, more energy-efficient ideal door garage door is a simple weekend project. This video will provide an overview of the process. Before proceeding with any removal and installation of the door, make sure to read through all supplied instruction manuals. Certain steps may vary during the installation process depending on your situation and door model. You will need at least one helper. The first step in removing an old garage door is to remove the spring. Take extreme caution while relieving the tension on any spring. The springs are under tremendous tension and can cause injuries or more. If you do not feel comfortable in releasing the spring tension, please call a professional. You now can start removing the panels. Starting at the top panel, remove the hardware and sections one at a time. After the door has been removed, you can now take out the remaining hardware and old door track. In order to prevent any other damage, never use an old track from a previous door. Always use the track that is supplied with your new door. At this time, it's a good idea to inspect the condition of the wood jambs. If it's rotted, it should be replaced. Next, find the bottom section of the new door. This can easily be identified by the rubber weather stripping. Lay this panel face down onto padded sawhorses. The padding helps make sure that your door is protected while you prepare the hardware on the panels. Find the bottom brackets from the supplied hardware package and slide the bracket into place, locking the safety tabs of the bracket onto the door panel. Attach bracket with 2 sheet metal screws to the panel. Installing the hinges is next, and look closely at the hinge. They are numbered 1, 2, 3. This makes it easy to make sure you are installing the correct hinge on the panels. Starting with the hinges numbered with 1, attach them to the door panel at the pre-punched holes on the back of the panel using the supplied sheet metal screws. The end hinges will match the corresponding section. The center hinges will always be a number 1 hinge. Also, depending on the door you have purchased, you will need to attach the supplied struts. This can range from no struts up to 3 or more. All doors using an operator will require at least 1 strut. In our example, we only have 1 strut that will later be attached onto the top panel. Now you can place the bottom section of the door centered into the opening and against the doorstop. Using a level, balance out the panel and use shims if needed to make the panel level. Once you have determined that your door is level, toenail the door panel into place with a 3-inch nail. Select your next panel and identify the top edge where you will attach the number 2 hinge on the ends and number 1 hinge in the middle. Now set this panel onto the bottom section and center it. Once you have it centered in place, attach another nail to hold securely into place. At this time, you can attach the 2 panels together. Continue this pattern until all door panels have been installed. When you are ready to install the final panel, attach the roller brackets. When this is done, toenail it into place and attach the hinges like the previous panels. Next, install the rollers into the top and bottom brackets and the tubes on each hinge. Some rollers may have 2 tubes. Always place it in the tube farthest from the door. Now, assemble the jamb brackets and flag brackets to the vertical track as instructed in the manual. At this point, have a helper hold the door panels in place and remove the nails on one side that were toenailed in place. Slide the track over the rollers so the rollers are all the way into the hinges, leaving about a ½ an inch between the edge of the door and the track. Do not force the track or the door may bind. Pre-drill at each lag screw position and attach the flag bracket and track brackets loosely. The tops of both vertical tracks must be level with each other. Check this by measuring from the top of the door to the top of the bracket on both sides of the door. Check for plumb and tighten the lag screws. Next, install the horizontal track. Slide the horizontal track over the roller and attach the curved end to the flag bracket with the supplied track bolts and flange nuts with the head of the bolt on the inside of the track. Attach the end of the horizontal angle to the top of the flag bracket with the supplied carriage bolt. Now attach the opposite end of the horizontal track onto the rear track hangers. In our example, we had an existing wooden structure that was used for this step. Rear track hanger kits are available if needed. Make sure the horizontal track is square. Measure from one corner of the track to the opposite diagonal side. This distance should be equal. Adjust if necessary. We can now mount our spring system. This garage door has an easy set torsion spring system. Start out by reading all safety information about attaching a spring system, as it potentially could cause injury. Attach the bracket for the system to the flag bracket with the supplied carriage bolts. Finish the installation by pre-drilling onto the wood jamb and fastening with lag bolts. Now slide the spring onto the torsion tube and attach the winding unit. Depending on your door, you might have 1 or 2 torsion springs. Our door only had 1. If you do have more than 1 torsion spring, the ends of the spring and winding units have been color coordinated to make it easier matching up components. Follow this by adding the drums. Lift and place into the brackets. Our example included a center support bracket. Attach it now if provided, making sure it is straight and level. Now it's time to add tension to the spring. Tighten the set screw on the end of the spring onto the torsion tube. Thread the lift cable from the bottom of the door and insert into the cable drum, then tightening the set screw 3/4 to a full turn and take up the remaining slack. Do this for both sides of the door. At this time, we are now ready to add the tension to the springs. Read through the included manual to determine the number of winds needed for your door. Using your drill and the supplied insert bit or 7/16 inch socket, tighten the spring according to the suggested number mentioned in the manual. Test to make sure the door is moving freely and easily. The door should easily lift by using only a few fingers. If you are going to use a garage door opener, make sure it is properly reinforced to avoid damaging the door. Refer to your instructions for complete information. Ideal garage doors add beauty and security to your home. With a little help from a few friends, you too can make this an easy weekend project. Never miss a new how-to video. Subscribe on YouTube or sign up for email alerts here.